California being hit by massive layoffs. It has the highest unemployment rate in the United States. We got a bunch of companies that are just saying, yep, gotta go. Let's get into it. Here we go. So we've got Intuit, a California company, software company known for products like TurboTax, Credit Karma, and MailChimp. They announced Wednesday, this article's a little bit old, but we're going through just kind of company after company after company that have announced these layoffs. So Intuit laying off 1,800 employees, or 10% of its entire workforce, as it prepares for the AI revolution. All right. Local news outfit San Francisco Gate reported that nearly 600 employees will lose their jobs in California, including 384 in Mountain View and 215 in San Diego. So you've got the tech industry shredding massive amounts of jobs, but more importantly, you've got California. California enacted that $20 an hour minimum wage. How do you think that's working out? Because you've got employers that just can't afford to pay that. And you know what I hear? I hear from people who don't really have a notion about business, but they just want more money for themselves. Well, you just got to pay more. Well, when it comes down to that and the economics aren't there, the company leaves that area or shuts down, and then those employees lose their jobs. So you got to pay them more. Okay. But that's if it's within the budget and if the company can still make a profit and all of those factors. And what we're seeing is that in a lot of the fast food, that budget isn't there to raise your operating costs of your employees by like 25%. That's just a hard no-go. It's a no-go. So concerns rise as massive layoffs hit California. This is an ongoing story. And yesterday, Twitter, former X, I hate calling it X, formerly known as Twitter, Elon Musk said, hey, Gavin Newsom signed in this new law stating that if a child wants to change their sexuality and identify as something other than they were born originally at birth as, then they can do that. But schools aren't going to be required to report that. In fact, they're going to be banned from reporting that to the child's parents. It's like, okay, why are we going after the kiddies? Just leave the kids alone. Just let them go to school, however horrific that is. But when it comes down to all this other stuff where you're jumping in and trying to create these situations where state-run schools have more parenting rights than parents, yeah. So Elon Musk went on to say, you know what? No go. And he was just looking for an excuse. Let's move Twitter out of here. And he's going to move SpaceX out of there as well. In a concerning trend for California, numerous large companies are gearing up for significant layoffs, affecting thousands of workers across various industries. This is according to the Warren Tracker California. It's seen a staggering 37,000 plus Warren layoffs this year alone, impacting 713 businesses statewide. I've been reading these stats for a long time, and that's a pretty good sized number right there. 37,000. The Worker Adjustment and Retraining Notification, that's the Warren Tracker. It mandates that employers give a 60-day notice before large-scale layoffs or plant closures. We've got this kind of heads up. Hey, you got to let us know if you're going to be doing big layoffs or plant closures or something like that. Or maybe you'll see when we report that Target has left the building, quite literally. And it's a number of stores, then they got to report, all right, we're laying off a whole bunch of employees, and here's what this looks like. They give the heads up in advance, and that's how the media oftentimes gets a notice. Somebody's closing something down. So we got to give a 60-day notice. This crucial measure aims to provide affected workers with time to seek alternative employment or training opportunities, ensuring some level of financial stability during transitions. When you get fired, you get fired. If you get a little bit of payout, lucky you. But oftentimes that's just not the case, right? Companies going under, whatever it is. But in California's case, there's been so many examples of legislation that people are literally walking away from, or taxation. And now you've got unemployment. So, one of the things I've been thinking about a lot is who are the Democrats going to run instead of Biden? because he can't. I mean, if they run Biden in 2024, like, they've got campaign ads out for him and all that good stuff. If they run him, I mean, that's just a loss. That's a big L coming up, right? So they've got to make a pivot. They've got to make a pivot and go with somebody else. And the name that keeps coming up is Gavin Newsom or Gretchen Whitmer, Michigan. But, there's just nobody that really grabs the attention except for Gavin Newsom. I think he's thrown out there as many times as anybody else. But his policies within California are basically a really good example of how not to manage your state. And the stats that we're reading today are a really good example of that. Some of these businesses are struggling because of interest rates. Some of them are struggling because of the shift in tech and AI and all that good stuff. But some of them are just moving out of California because it's not feasible to run a business there, period. So many companies have left, especially during the pandemic, because the response of you got to wear a mask, you got to do all this stuff. And California really went on lockdown. I mean, kind of. You know what I mean? It's like the citizens had to go on lockdown. Politicians, oh no, you guys go get your hair cut, go take a vacation, go do whatever you want. It's all good. So recent announcements that highlight the breadth of these layoffs, these Warren layoffs. Planet Labs PBC plans to cut 98 jobs by August 26. AT&T is going to get rid of 𝗥𝗘𝗠𝗜𝗨𝗠, 5,024 jobs by late August. Dexcom, a major employer, is facing 535 job cuts. It just kind of goes on and on and on. You got Amazon, you got UPS, and the Hilton Oakland Airport Hotel. We podcasted that one because that one was like, oh, hey, that's been there forever. And that is a Port of Oakland property. And, a lot of folks said, well, that's because it's in a super high crime area and it's just not a great place to have a hotel, but it's close to the airport, right? And Oakland Airport has had its troubles from the standpoint of it is in the heart of getting your car bipped. Right? I mean, that's just a known quantity. So as these layoffs unfold, concerns about job security and economic stability in California heighten. So as Gavin Newsom has done kind of his shadow campaign, I think a lot of folks are like, yeah, but look at how California's turned out. It's really not all that great. I've mentioned this before. It's like Gavin Newsom has created the world's worst taco franchise, standalone state of California. You got one taco stand, whole California. Now he wants to take it national by becoming president. And the voters are going to recognize that and go, I guess he's got a D in front of his name. Let's vote for that. I mean, that's the only way you're going to justify what Gavin Newsom has done in California. It's kind of like some of the stuff that my governor here has done. Just, you're like, what? You're doing what? This is virtue signaling at its absolute worst. And it doesn't make any sense. Some of the stuff that these guys pull out, you're just like, yeah. As job growth in California falls back, unemployment rate remains the highest in the country. So you've got all these stats. You got all these companies leaving. Elon Musk being the most recent yesterday, saying, we're out of here. This is terrible. You're forcing parents and companies to leave the state of California. And we haven't even talked about, income tax. You got state income tax. So you've got all in super high rent, super high real estate values, you name it. You've got it in California. And now you are seeing hotter temperatures. So Seattle is now jokingly referred to as the new California because our summers here are epic. We have to wait until July 5th. And it's absolutely true. After July 5th, we get a handful of weeks that are relative to the rest of the country, just absolutely mind blowing. You've got weather in the high 70s, maybe mid 80s, a little bit of a wind. You got some sunshine, but it's not overwhelming. If we hit 90 here in Seattle or Bellevue, it's like, good Lord, I need 14 more AC units. Can't live this way. This is terrible. Let's get that rain back. When's the rain coming back to Seattle? This is after we've complained for 9 straight months about having cloudy skies. Is summer ever going to get here? It comes and people are like, oh, good Lord. But I get out there as much as I can, and you got to suck in the sun. You got to get a little tan going, because otherwise, what are you even doing? But Seattle kind of overtaking for California, the Pacific Northwest, from the standpoint of summers have gotten way hotter in California. It's that whole global warming, or just weather kind of goes in patterns and does its thing. That's what I tend to believe more. But so California posted another month of anemic job growth in April, keeping the state's unemployment rate the highest in the country at 5.3%. All of these statistics kind of go to indicate that California is not where you want to be. Joe Rogan, great example of moving during the pandemic and just basically saying, ugh, can't take it anymore. Gotta leave Hollywood. Gotta leave Hollyweird and get the heck out of here. And he went down to Austin. Statewide employers added a net of just 5,200 jobs in April, down from 18,200 in March. They're going the wrong direction. Nationwide, employers added 175,000 jobs in April and 315,000 in March. The U.S. unemployment rate in April was 3.9%. Cali, 5.3%. Yeah, highest in the nation. Yeah, and yet Newsom is still touting all the great things that California has to offer. It does have some great things, but right now the stats kind of show a different picture, don't they? You're like, yeah, I don't think so. And a lot of folks that are reasonable have decided to move, and they're going to Florida. They're going to Texas. They're going to Idaho. They're going elsewhere. Now, California does have a massive, massive economy. And that's why I'm not too worried. All right. So California's 5.3%. Rest of the U.S. 3.9%. That's not crazy high, but it's high enough to show that the policies that are being put in place in California are not working favorably. No, you go in the wrong direction. And there's just I have so many podcasts on just ridiculousness at not only the local, the state, but, in California, it's just anything is fair game for just terrible policy decisions to be made. It's like you just got a bunch of people running around that have no business running governance at all. At all. So here's the most recent one. Elon Musk, X headquarters will move from San Francisco to Austin, Texas. Elon's a big Texas fan. I don't blame him. He runs a business. Remember that back during the pandemic when Elon told Gavin Newsom, this whole shutting the car manufacturing plant down here in California, that's not really going to work for me. So I'm going to bring all my people back on a Friday, and then we're going to retool up, get things going, and we're going to be making cars on a Monday. You can find me, you can do whatever you want, but this is just kind of what we're doing. Your whole policy on everybody sitting at home, trying to not get COVID is just not really working for us. So this is what we're going to do. And if you don't like it, you can suck it. That's basically what Elon Musk said. So funny. And Elon's he has not been a California fan for a long, long time. San Francisco real estate market participants confirmed last week that a majority of Market Street headquarters of X Corp, formerly Twitter, will soon be available for subleasing. On Tuesday, the company's CEO appeared to confirm that his days in San Fran are numbered, and they did. They basically just, we're out. They subleased, I want to say it was a couple 100,000 square feet of office space in the mid-market. And that announcement has been made since this article. The announcement followed another post by Musk stating that he planned to relocate the headquarters of SpaceX as well. It's a spacecraft manufacturing company that he founded. And the reason that he is doing this is that move appeared to be motivated by California Governor Gavin Newsom signing of AB 1955, that's the bill, a first in the nation bill, banning schools from requiring teachers to notify families about student gender identity changes. Oh, no, you can't tell the parents of the kids. Just let the kids, change genders without any parental consideration. It's okay. It should work out fine. Like I've said before, all right, so kids can't drink before they're 21, can't vote before they're 18, they can't get a tattoo before they're 18. You can't rent a car before you're what? I think 22. And even if you do, it's a high rate. It's hard to get insurance. So many requirements of just basic things in life. But you're born a boy and you want to become a girl? It's all up to you. Do I need to talk to my parents? Nah, you just go ahead and make that decision. It's all good. We respect you. You're only 8 years old, but you've got a good head on your shoulder for an 8-year-old. So, going down something that's going to change the rest of your life, whether you want to identify that or not, we're just going to let you, come up with whatever you come up with, and we'll help you along. Parents not needed. Absolutely wacky. So Elon Musk said, this is the final straw, and said in a subsequent post, I did make it clear to Governor Newsom about a year ago that laws of this nature would force families and companies to leave California to protect their children. Yeah, there you go. I mean, it's crazy, right? State Senator Scott Wiener, Democrat from San Francisco, he followed Musk's post with the response, California literally made you with taxpayer subsidies and because it's the best place around. Wiener. I am not sure that is correct, but I see your spin. And Mr. Wiener, will this be a fake temper tantrum move, just like Tesla's fake move to Texas? Well, I would say no. They're subleasing out to space. They're on the road, like so many other companies, or companies that are just shutting down. How many, was it Pizza Hut? Pizza Hut fired how many thousand delivery drivers because they couldn't afford to pay them $20 an hour? It's not in the whole budget. They don't have the margin to do that. They were paying 15, 16, something like that. So they, just canned a whole bunch of people. So Seattle came up with a similar deal. All right, we're going to add this little extra bonus to delivery drivers for Uber Eats and DoorDash and that kind of thing. It's going to work out great. Everybody's going to make more money. And then they also did the minimum $20 an hour wage. And interestingly, and I think was that a fast food wage? I think it was. Interestingly, they're looking at kind of, maybe we need to do a little reverse on that. Specifically, the one with the food delivery companies. Yeah, it's gotten too expensive and nobody's ordering food from delivery services anymore. Isn't that weird? Since that thing went into place, I haven't ordered from DoorDash once. And it was expensive to begin with. It was expensive, but you could justify it. You could just, it's expensive, but it's all right. And what did I see the other day? Somebody was doing a meme of eating one of those breakfast products from McDonald's. What was it? Oh, it was a hash brown. Whatever that thing is from McDonald's, the breakfast hash brown. It's some sort of food, like the fries. There's some sort of food product-ish. Somebody was eating one of those going, really enjoying my $18 hash brown that would cost me $1 if I went into the store, into the restaurant. And it's so true, because if you go and pick it up, way cheaper. California, they have pushed companies away. Now they're doing this kind of stuff, pushing Elon Musk away, but he had a foot out half the door. And then they've got a whole bunch of other companies, tech sector related, construction related, you name it, that have also got a foot out the door, and they're like, yeah, gonna give up, all the crazy taxes, the regulation, the super expensive real estate, inability for families to purchase homes, even rent homes, all that stuff that California has been known for. And that's kind of coming at the same time that it appears that Governor Newsom is running some kind of shadow campaign, right? Who knows what his game plan is? At some level, he's going to want to step it up, right? On the national level, I would think. I don't know, because he's done such a stellar job with California that, yeah, they're losing thousands of employees, highest unemployment rate in the nation. I mean, those are all just great reasons to run a business in California, right? No. And that's where this article is going. That's where all these articles are collectively going, that California are bleeding out some jobs. And it's no wonder. You've created a business environment where you don't really want businesses to be there, and you make it known through your policy. So that's what you've got going on in California. It's interesting every now and then to just kind of take a quick look, because we've been talking about this for years. I mean, since the pandemic and prior to that as well. But the numbers don't lie. The data and the science will get you where you need to go. All right. That's it for me. What data? What science? That's always a question, right? You're like, Thanks for being here. I'd love to have you subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you on the next segment. Bye for now.